Hello. My name is Notepad and on Gacha Games for fun. So what are we doing today? Well, today we are going to spill my coffee over my desk because I'm a fucking goober. Luckily, I've got this. Wipe everything up. Hello, everyone. How are we all doing today? I am doing pretty all right. Starting a little earlier than usual. He said 5 o'clock. But yes, we're going to be starting a little bit earlier today because I have a video I want to do tonight. And I want to get things done early tonight. That's the reason there. So, yes, hello. Oi, good morning. We have the zone combat. Yes, we're going to be doing zone combat. This is not what it's going to look like, though. It's going to be put on its side. I think putting it on its side is going to make a little bit more sense. I know how exactly it's going to work out, and I'm 97% sure it'll work. However, I did some things. I did a lot of things, just because it kind of just happened, to be honest. So last time on Dragon Ball Z, we did all of our skills. We put everything there, and I started fixing up various things. One of the big things I had to do was the idea of specialties. Specialties are pretty simple. Allows you to take 2d10, you roll your dice, and you can actually flip it. So it goes from 85 right now to a 58, which may be a success. Normally, you're only going to have one of these. You're gonna have one of these starting out as a personal one, but you're gonna be able to get more later on. Kind of see here, everyone's kind of got their own ones. I did put the schools in. Kind of just came to me in the middle of the night, so I just kind of wrote them all in. The idea is that each school is going to give you 2 15s and 2 10s. And this is kind of the way I kind of wrote them out to be a little bit easier to understand. They're also going to give you a specialty, and that specialty is going to be something that you always have access to. That's your kind of one. It's a little bit special, so you can actually take a personal specialty on top of your school specialty. Now you may be seeing, so okay, what's Abydos? What's Abydos all about? Abydos is all about actually recon, supernal science, computers, and a little bit of tactics in there. They are fighting a losing war, so Abydos really wants to kind of preserve what they have. Gehenna, on the other hand, actually has a lot of the idea when it comes to streetwise, so they can actually find their own infiltrators in different places. That's kind of the idea I thought was most appropriate for them. Because they are very aggro. That's their entire gimmick, is that they are incredibly aggro. Millennium has a lot of school stuff, has a lot of like history stuff, a lot of formal education, computer science, social sciences. And they actually have a networking specialty with computers, which is pretty much anything connected to the Millennium School network they're going to be able to find. That's kind of the idea. I didn't really know how to word it properly, so networking is the kind of the name of the game there. We also have for Trinity. Let's see here. Trinity doesn't really have as good like marksman or anything. As you kind of see, their specialty is not even in one of the things they get a bonus to. They just get bonus lore religion. On the other hand, they're also very, very scary in their own right. The thing with Trinity is it's more of the meta sense that Trinity's probably the strongest school. So that's their advantage. Yo, yes, I wanted to ask you, Lubu, how was Gen Con? I take it everything was pretty fun. Yes, I did hear about the new edition of Werewolf. I also know they're doing a new bit of Werewolf, and they put in the lore that it was like the Trail of Tears was because of werewolves. It looks like nobody actually fucking learned from the... Nobody learned from the vampire issue, did they? Because nobody ever fucking does learn from that. The Alliance Academy, as you kind of see, I noticed I kept giving people history, like history was fairly common. But they got a really good history here. They got a lot of formal lore. Shenhaijing, senior secondary school. As you kind of see, they kind of have a lot of similarity, but they're a little bit different in their approaches. As you kind of see, they got a lot of more merchant stuff. The Red Winter Federal Academy has athletics labor specialty, because I thought that would be funny. And of course, the Valkyrie Police Academy has really high social sciences in their legalese. So have no fear, everyone. They do know your rights. Hacking instead of networking, which is actually about forming connections. Yeah, it's a World of Darkness. Do they ever learn? We can believe. Well, the thing is, like, White Wolf got fucking lobotomized. I do know that. White Wolf kind of got lobotomized. So it's like, oof. It's called hacking. Hacking. Because, like, it wasn't even necessarily the idea of hacking. It was, like, the fact that Millennium is so... It's the idea that Millennium has such a strong emphasis on, when it comes to tech and stuff, that they have so much, networking, if that makes sense. It's like, yeah, you can find anything on a Millennium computer because you're a Millennium student. That's kind of the idea there. I'm like, I didn't quite know how I wanted to word that. Like, because it's such a weird thing to... I mean, I guess I could put, I guess I could do that. I think that might be a better way of wording it. Yeah, I'm like, I don't quite know how to word this. Like, yeah, because, like, the entire idea is, like, Millennium is the school of science. They're the ones who have, like, the hacking class and the game, everyone loves Millennium. Because if we go to a Millennium Science School, the reason why everyone loves Millennium is very simple. They have Asuna. They have Asuna, everyone. They have the face and chest of Blue Archive. They've got a bunch of, like, the big characters that people seem to know, including, how can we forget Yuka, where there is apparently, like, one fucking guy who works extensively and just does Yuka artwork. That's all that's all he does. He does yucca art. Alice here. Alice has a railgun. She's the only student who has a fucking railgun. So, that's cool. She's also a robot and also an AI. But don't think about that at all, because the more you think about it, the worse it gets. Don't think, think bad. Thinking is bad. Don't. Yeah, it's like, what do Millennium students look like, Mr. Notepad? And like, oh, you know, this is a Millennium student. They're fucking goobers. Every single person in Millennium is full of goobers. I still have no idea of the actual scale, mind you, of these academies. There is no understanding of the scale between anything. Comp sci, archive use, intertube spelunking. Hi Notepad, how are you doing? I'm doing fine. And am I crazy for trying to make a fantasy version of World/Chronicle of Darkness system? No, I mean, people have tried before. It's not really, I wouldn't say it's... It has been attempted before, I will say that. It's very famous, in fact, an attempt to make it fantasy. There's a reason nobody else does it. Because of that. It's great. Yeah, likely Millennium Prize problem, which were several, you know, by Clay Mathematics. Yeah. Cool. It's shit like this. It's like, cool, thanks, Millennium. So I think that should work. Religion, mercantile. I do have the note about mixed schools, which generally speaking, you shouldn't be doing mixed schools. Really the only school that is like really good for mixing is the Valkyrie Police Academy, because they're the cops. If you ever need to bring someone in randomly, bring in a Valkyrie police officer. So how goes the things? I did a lot of work on it. A lot of work was done. But yeah, if you want to make your own independent school, this is how you do. So then things get a little bit funky. I worked with Scrumblow here a little bit, and so pretty much when you finish with your basic skills and specialties, you're going to be able to distribute bonus skill points. Each subject will have subject times 10 skill points to distribute among any of their associated skills. These skill points can be used to increase the subject, or new subject value times 5 skill points, or buy a specialty with the skill for 10 skill points. Successfully enrolled. So this is our very basic girl right here. This is Aya Tomiko. Hello, everyone say hello to our new wife. Say hello to Aya. She's 15 years old. Have no fear. She is legal in Taiwan off the coast, and so don't think about it too hard. Pretty much the idea is that you're going to be able to get a flat amount of points depending on how good you are at something that you can use to buy certain skills and certain abilities. Scribble initially came in and was like, this is way too many points, things are going to be really high, but what I noticed was things like this. There was always one thing that was a little low. I will not consummate this marriage for another 3 years. Alright, goodbye Ogata, hello Manly. See, this is what happens, is people buy Manleys, and then people buy Manleys and we get rid of the cops. So, one of the ideas behind her is that she spent some of her points buying things. Like, she couldn't really max out all of her drills, so she bought Urban Recon, because that's her thing. She couldn't really max out a lot. She didn't really want to max out a lot of her science stuff, so she put social sciences in clearly in just intimidation. If I want to be really precise about things, what I should do is put this as I should put this as psychology. I'll make it a little bit more precise. And she has a 50% mechanics with firearms. Now, what this effectively means is that she has a much higher chance of success when it comes to a lot of different things. So for her recon, for example, normally she's going to take her 2d10 and roll. I rolled a 98. I rolled the worst possible result for this example because there's no possible way I'm going to get a good result. So I'm going to re-roll that real fast. I rolled a 57, and equally, that would be a success normally. Let's roll, get a good... I cannot roll for shit today. Let's say I rolled a 72. That would normally be a failure. However, I can flip the dice and make it a 27. You could also just be me and just fail miserably at rolling the proper dice. But yeah, I noticed that there was usually one that was lower than the other. And that I'm fine with. That I was perfectly fine with is a single skill, maybe not being very good, but then you see things like civics for her. She has a 20% speech. She is not good at talking with people. She's dog shit at it, to be frank. She is absolute dog shit at it. She can't really endure very long doing anything. She's incredibly fast. She's very good at running. The problem is she can't last very long doing anything. And I was like, cool. My Asperu Kanoja. She is a cheetah. Yeah, she runs fast with an AK, and she's popping motherfuckers anytime they show up. I realized, like, this works pretty well for what I was going for. And pretty much the skills that you are really good in, you're going to have better skills. The attributes you're really good in, you're going to have higher defaults. And you can spend them on things. I think that's kind of the important thing in that regard. Ooh, right. Ow. 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 The fact that you can spend them on specialties, on bonuses like that, do kind of give each one a little bit more like, oh, even if I have an excessive amount of points, why don't I buy a specialty? Because the specialty is going to help me out in the long run. And now you have things such as, her self-defense isn't very high. She's not really good at defending herself when she does get into a fight. However, if she later on she picks up, something, she might be able to turn normally a pretty bad failure into a pretty good success. She's able to actually recover fairly easy from problems that inevitably will erupt. Then after that, we got into strike teams. We have the four basic combat roles. We have assault, enforcer, support, and tank. The entire idea is that assaults can kind of do everything. Assaults are the ones who these are your standard fighter man guys. They don't really have a specialty. Their specialty is to shoot you really well. That's their special power, the ability to shoot you with a gun. Enforcers are real aggro. They're very fragile, but they're very aggro. These are the fucking tyke bombs who run at you at full speed with a shotgun, or hang back real far away with a sniper and start popping you. Supports are pretty much supposed to lend support to you. That's kind of the big idea with them, that they actually assist you. They are going to get a lot more abilities and techniques and stuff like that are going to help move the battle in your favor, while tanks are, affectionately speaking, brick shit houses. They're just big. Now, that does kind of go into Halo durability and wounds. What else do I need to do? We got a little bit to do still. So Halo durability is pretty much just like your overhealth, as you kind of see here. Enforcers have the least amount of Halo durability. If they get lit up real bad, they'll go down, but you can survive a few hits. No matter what weapon you're against, you can usually survive a few good hits. Not many, but you can. As you can see, tanks have an insane amount of Halo durability. Over double what an enforcer has. However, when your Halo hits 0, it's cracked. You can still do things, but your Halo is cracked currently. If you take another damage, doesn't matter where the damage comes from or how much damage is, if you take any damage, you are going to move into fading. Once you are fading, you cannot use techniques or attack. You can only stagger pretty much. You can only really move at that point. Move and defend yourself. There's really nothing else you can do. Which does move on to being down, which you have collapsed. You need to be evacuated. Your ally needs to run up to you, needs to grab you, and drag your ass away. That's kind of the issues. It's like you have to drag them away at that point. Which does lead to, if you get hit a 4th time in the down state, you're dead. There's no recovering from it, you just get fucking gunned down. It is very difficult to die, unless you're stupid. It's kind of one of those things, like, once your Halo breaks, once your Halo kind of hits the cracked state, you need to pull back almost immediately. You are in extreme danger all of a sudden. You need to have somebody actually heal you. You need to have someone actually fix you up now to recover a little bit of that Halo durability. Because you can take 2 wounds, and you can't use any techniques or attacks, but restore all your Halo durability, you still cannot attack or use techniques. Because you are fucking hurt. You are in extreme injury, and you are not having a good day. Then you get things, and recover after a night's rest or moment of relaxation. Pretty much, like, Halo durability is going to recover very quickly with or without healing. Which kind of leads to getting parfaits after a gunfight is a good example of a moment of relaxation. Hit them with a crossbow loaded with Fulton bolts, lol. See, the problem is that you can, like, a standard, blue archive girl can take effectively a full clip from an SMG. They can get unloaded by 9mm, an entire fucking magazine dumped into their chest, and they will be fine. They can take a fucking ballistic missile directly to where they are, and they will just be knocked unconscious. Like, the insane durability of these girls require extreme prejudice to bring down. They are almost impossible to actually kill unless you are going out of your way to do it. During the combat section, I will have to put a note about, like, hey, what if you're fighting regular people? And if you're fighting regular people, the answer is very simple. Once their HP reaches 0, they die. They explode. They have been lit the fuck up. They stagger away, collapse, and bleed to death because they've been shot 12 times with a fucking bullet. They are dead. Like they aren't getting back up pretty much. And that's going to be kind of like one of the big things that separates the students from regular people, if that makes sense. Is that, yeah, you can take bullets and you don't care. If someone rolls up into you and hits you and fucking dumps pull rounds a corner with a revolver and shoots you point blank, you're going to feel stunned for a moment, but you're just going to be able to retaliate. You shoot a regular person without a Halo in the face with in the chest with a revolver, they're going to die. They are going to fall over and bleed to death. It's like, that's kind of the, I love being the strong arm of the government. That's the funny part, is because everybody is the strong arm of the government. Because every student is expected to fight, because every student has a fucking weapon on them. Speaking about weapons, generally speaking, assaults can use anything. Enforcers can use pretty much anything they want. Any of the bigger weapons, as you kind of see. Supports cannot use assault rifles as well as tanks. Supports can use handgun, shotgun, SMGs, the flamethrower. They're the only one They are one of the two that can use flamethrowers and rocket and grenade launchers. Supports have a huge amount of versatility when it comes to it. The thing is, they just don't have a really reliable weapon, and they're not really supposed to be up front, but you can make them if you want. Tanks, however, are about being brick shithouses that run up to the problem and unload on it. Really, you should be using an SMG if you're playing a very particular type of tank. If you want to play a more mobile tank, that's kind of the idea. Everyone has one gun. There are no such thing as a melee weapon. Mostly because having a halo, this is very important as well, having a halo does increase your strength, as in tear down, like, walls strength. If a student runs up to you and punches you in the face as another student, you're going flying back and you'll get up and you can punch them in the face. If a student runs up to someone without a halo and hits them with their full strength, they will get eviscerated. Bones will be broken, organs ruptured, suggesting they are not torn in half. They are that hellishly strong. What we can only assume. So it's like, oh, here's my itty bitty little middle school daughter foo. Hello, daughter. Hello, how are you? Oh, you don't like me? Please don't punch me. Punch his leg shatters into 1,000 pieces. Oh no! Not like this, Mr. Stark! I think the best way to think about it is, as long as you have a halo, you have anime logic apply to you. The millisecond the halo comes off, you're a regular person. That's the problem. Anime logic legitimately only applies to those who are students. Which, hey, doesn't that mean after 3 years you lose your halo and you become a regular person effectively in high school? Yeah. Do they ever explain this? No. They don't. Nor will they. Nor will they ever explain it. Generally speaking, dealing damage is pretty easy. These are the weapons you can choose from right off the bat. Now, to kind of explain them a little bit, each one is going to have a damage. Damage may seem, wow, that seems really low, relatively speaking, to the 45, potentially like 60 HP a tank can have. Remember, if you roll really well, you can do 3 hits of damage. So that's 18 damage with an assault rifle. Range is how many pretty much zones away it is. The number of attack, like, the idea of traits is like, these are like innate qualities of the gun. Like, these are things that you can trade, you can kind of add. These are the qualities of the gun. Attachments are added to the gun to give them traits, in a way. However, you can sub-attachments out. You can say, hey, I don't want this attachment anymore. I can replace that attachment with something else. I want to put a scope on my AR to increase its range to 4. I want to put a compensator on my assault rifle to increase the damage by 1. I want to put an auto trigger on, a fucking hair trigger on my AR to give it auto fire instead of burst fire. That's fine. However, again, it's one of those things where these can be switched around, but it's like, maybe you want to make auto fire permanent and use that attachment for something else. You would give it a trait, or you can naturally kind of improve these weapons. Handguns are just very reliable. That's their gimmick. Machine guns hit like a fucking freight train. They have decent range. The big thing is that they have auto fire. They have auto fire and heavy. Auto fire effectively can suppress entire areas, which is pretty much if you move, you get out of position. And they have heavy, which pretty much means it takes 2 actions to move. You're using your entire action to move to a new zone. So as with a machine gun, with a character playing with a machine gun, you want to get into position and just kind of never leave it. Because you have a fucking MG. You have a giant MG42 and you don't want to stop using it. Later on, you can say, hey, I don't want the heavy anymore. I want to remove the heavy tag And then suddenly you can use your fucking MG relatively safely. If you want to put the one-handed on your MG, go for it. I'm legitimately not going to stop you. You want to fucking one-hand your MG, go, you dig in your heels and hold that fucking line. Exactly. Like, MGs are scary because they have decent range, and if you hold up in a place with heavy cover, you're not going to take a lot of damage, which is one of the reasons why supports and tanks can take MGs. You sit in a place and you hold it. If you're playing a tank with an MG, you can effectively just sit in a place you need to be, and it'll take a lot to fucking kill you. Especially if you start using talent, techniques and skills and all that to keep yourself alive. Especially if you have a support who's pretty much just auto-healing you the entire time. You're a brick shithouse. That's your job. But alright, everybody. Let's play a game. How do you break a MG nest? There's an MG overlooking the street. There's an MG overlooking the street in Lego City. We need to build something to help us. And the answer is very simple. Grenades! Yes, throw grenades at it. Get yourself into cover, put them in a bad position, because suddenly they're gonna have a lot harder time hitting you. And it's like, okay, we can hit them a lot more reliably, they cannot hit us as reliably. We are, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, we need to place them in a worse position. What do we do to make sure that you are having a worse time? This does lead to shotguns. Shotguns have a really low range, but they have the idea of spread. Where it's, if they are at range 2, they're going to deal 4 damage. If they're at range 1, they're going to deal 5 damage. If they're at range 0, they're doing 6. But if they're at range 3, they're doing 3. At range 4, they're doing 2. So you kind of want to rush with the shotgun, but rushing with a shotgun is dangerous in its own right. How likely is an airstrike being added? Lol. I don't really need to worry about airstrikes, even though by sheer technicality I should add them. But there's gonna be other things to do that. The one that I'm not like super happy with is the SMG, because the SMG is a worse AR, but that's what SMGs kind of are. They're kind of just worse ARs. Especially like the purpose of an SMG is that they're cheaper than a traditional assault rifle. Like a military assault rifle and a military SMG, the SMG is going to be cheaper. My goal with it is that you can add one-handed to it, and you can add burst fire to it, and they have a decent number of attachments. That's kind of the thing with it. It's like if you have the option of going with a AR versus an SMG, you're most likely going to go with the AR if you have the option, but some people don't have the option too. So I think in its current state it's a little bit we called a machine pistol. I'm worried about that it'll step on mandate official Azure archive battle maps and handling penalties. I'm afraid that it'll step on handguns' toes a little bit too much, where it's like, well, why would I ever pick a handgun if I can just use an SMG? It does the same thing but better. So I'm kind of like, if you want to make a machine pistol, like a legit, like full auto fucking handgun, you're going to do that. You're going to slap auto on it, and you're going to be probably increasing the damage on it. With an SMG, you can go down more of the P90 route, which is just put as many bullets downrange as physically possible. You can make it a little bit more like, we want to make it like a machine pistol, kind of like the way you're thinking of, and give myself a big old, kind of combat shield or something like that, or boost its damage up. It's kind of in a weird spot. I might bump the damage up by like 1. Like, yeah, it's kind of the thing, because it's the way combat is going to be. It's like there isn't much wiggle room, and SMGs kind of, because normally the idea is that SMGs in Blue Archive are almost always on girls who are really good at indoor combat, while the ARs are on girls usually adept for outdoors combat. So if you are assaulting if you are in a building and you're fighting, getting the SMG is going to be really good for you. It does better indoors. But being outdoor, but I don't want to add in like locational favorability, which is a dumb mechanic. I'm like, that's not quite what I'm looking for. So I think actually I could probably dump up. If you notice, I'm trying to keep all the numbers relatively even for scratch damage. So maybe if I do that, I mean, and it kind of steps on. No, it doesn't step on the machine gun's toes. We reduce the range though. How about we do this? So the SMG's got the burst fire, but it doesn't have the spread. Shotgun wants to close the distance. SMG feels a little bit more comfortable of not moving as much. AR can stay behind the SMG guys, but then we have rifle. Rifles are like snipers. If you want to build a full sniper rifle, you can do a rifle, but they're not restricted to just being sniper rifles. That's kind of the big thing. If you want to play if you just want to play a character with like a battle rifle, you're going to choose a rifle. They do a shit ton of damage. The only issue is single fire, which you might want to remove, but that's going to, again, that's kind of, it's one of those things like you can remove single fire, but removing single fire is going to be a thing that it's going to cost you. It's going to take more time that you can use on probably doing something better. Because the idea of single fire is that it's kind of the opposite of the machine gun, where if the machine gun takes 2 actions to move, this takes 2 actions to fire. Where it's like, it's not really as efficient, but you do a locational damage and limb damage. Designated marksman. Yeah, if you want to make it a DMR, you can. I might lower the damage a little bit. Let's lower the damage to 8. If we lower the damage to 8, scratch damage is going to be 4. Maximum you can hit would be 16. If you get a triple hit on it, if you get a triple fucking hit, what'll happen is that you are going to get 24 damage. Fun fact, if an enforcer gets shot in the fucking head with a rifle right off the bat, the enforcer's going to die. Like, the enforcer's going down. But if you see a sniper like that, most likely they too are a, yeah, please do not rush the sniper if he has a bead on you, because he'll just shoot you in the head and kill you. Please, if you see a sniper, get into fucking cover. Use your tank as a distraction. Don't just sit there. You know, call me weird. Then we've got our 3 kind of odd ones. Grenade launchers and rocket launchers have AoE. Actually, no, the grenade launcher has AoE, but it has a reload of 4. You can go pop, 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 pop. Then you have to spend an action to reload. Then it's pop, 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 pop. That's kind of how I'm planning on doing reloading, is like, it takes you can shoot it a number of times before you must reload. Flamethrowers, on the other hand, affect everyone in the AoE, and one of the advantages is that it turns that particular area hostile. They're going to take damage as long as they are standing in that zone, where if you are a flamethrower and you have the advantage, you're setting an entire area on fire. You don't, you're setting a single place on fire, so please do not let your flamethrower op get into a position where they could die. Playing a tank flamethrower operator is just being a scary brick shithouse as you walk ominously toward the enemy. And rocket launchers, the thing is with them, they're AT weapons, so they do double damage to like anything heavy or anything large, rather than just basic damage. So instead of doing 6 damage, they would do 12 damage, potential of 36 damage to them, but they don't do as much damage roughly, and they're not as efficient against just regular people. Like, if you are fighting a regular squad of people, maybe don't bring a rocket launcher to. These are very, that's kind of like the idea of burst fire and auto fire. It's like on a critical, if you manage to roll 20 up, you can suppress targets, which the idea of suppression is, if if a target is suppressed, if they try to move or they try to do anything other than just sit there, they're going to automatically be placed a section down. Which is going from, hey, we're in position, we are kind of in neutral position, we are completely out of position, which is going to make it a lot easier for everyone involved. So it's kind of like you're in a lot worse position if you're suppressed, so you don't want to be suppressed. Let's see, the other odd one was yeah, that was pretty much it. Burst, like, auto fires is kind of like a regular upgrade to burst fire. I thought about making it like oh, you get a bonus to hit, but that's kind of, again, it's the thing with one-handed weapons is you can use a one-handed weapon if you can use a shield or a second one-handed weapon. You have that ability. You can take a second one-handed weapon with you and take a fucking SMG, one-handed SMG with you and start popping motherfuckers. Or take a second pistol and go akimbo. However, if you don't have another secondary, you actually get a +2 to hit. Now, this doesn't seem like a lot, but effectively, you need to roll a 2 or a 3, pretty much 1-1 or 1-2, to actually miss. It is very hard to hit, very hard to miss with just you aiming and firing a one-handed weapon. Not going to do as much damage, and it's not as efficient, but a little bit more complicated to miss. Then we have some Arius girls here. How's guntism going? Always good. So, these are your techniques. This is not me actually writing techniques. This is me talking about techniques, because that's what we're going to be doing today. And if you excuse me, I need to go poo. Hello, Kalu Kalay. So, dummy problem. Ugh. Guntism good. So, I went through a lot of skills for every single one of the girls. I spent a lot of time last night kind of going through them. Generally speaking, being very general about this, a vast majority of skills, that's what they're called in the game, they're called skills, such as your EX skill and things. We'll get to EX skills in a second. A vast majority of them fall into one of these actions. They are either direct damage, your buffing damage, buffing your critical chance, doing more with less, buffing allies, healing someone, healing armor, increasing kind of like your armor instead of directly health. Moving more aggressively, changing some nature about yourself. That's kind of like a big thing, like, oh, I'm changing from a single shot damage to spread damage or something like that. Or assisting allies in some capacity. A vast majority of their actual skills are like that. Just to kind of give you an example, I'll just click on two random girls from here, and we'll go to Hyung Wong. Ding Dong Hingy Wong. So, Toki. Asuma Toki. Awesome. So, maybe she isn't the best example because she has a weird thing with her where she turns into a mech. But generally speaking, a vast majority of her like basic skills are deal X amount of attack damage to one enemy every 5 seconds. Or, hey, deal this, and it's like, what's her passive skill? Increase attack by this, increase attack by this. What's her sub skill? While she's in her kind of like her special mode or whatever. Let's take a look at this girl. Summons a turret. She summons something into the field to do something. What does Wakamo do? Hello, Wakamo. What's your thing? Deal X amount of damage to one enemy, then accumulates damage dealt to enemy attack by that, and dealt mystic damage in an explosion. Deal that much. Deal that much. Deal that much. That's her passive skill. Increase this, increase that. A lot of her... A vast majority of skills and abilities tend to be like these very basic, like, just increase this, increase that, get bonuses to this or something. Like, none of them are like really obtuse or anything like grand, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not like trying to bash it, being like, you're dumb for liking Blue Archive, but like, yeah, like, deal X amount of bonus damage in a round-shaped area, decrease accuracy. Deal this to the farthest enemy. Deal this, increase HP. Has 30, do this. That's kind of the idea behind... Yeah, that's kind of the idea behind a lot of their particular... Yeah, they kind of... But yeah, my poor Valkyries. It's 5 hour energy, 5 minutes. Shit. Something Wong makes sure your numbers more numbery. Yes, a vast majority of Blue Archive abilities are really built around just buffing or dealing damage. I know this was like a very big thing that Scribble was very concerned about. And Scribble, if you're in the chat, I'm gonna make fun of you currently. It was a very important thing that this battle map system won't work because all the abilities have different ranges and like sizes. But then I realized something, almost every single one of them are like just in a row or a column. They're very like, here's everyone in an area. That's what a vast majority of them are. It's like nothing too exciting there. We can work, we can make it work. So here we are. So my idea behind making an EX skill is an EX skill is either going to be 2 of these at once or it's going to be 3 of them at once. I don't quite know how I want to do it yet, but the basic premise is that pretty much as you kind of see here, every single does it have that there? Little concerning about that, but hey, I'm not going to worry about it too much. Pretty much every single one of these. Oh, I know. every single one of these is going to be a one of your combat roles, for example. That's where your passive is going to come from, and you're kind of a it's going to be a passive and kind of a universal one, where you're going to have a skill, or you're going to have a technique anyway, that is going to be triggered with momentum, and a method for your particular combat role to get momentum. And everyone's going to start off with a single technique of their choice, which is going to be kind of restricted by probably weapon and combat role. And everyone is going to get their passive effectively, which is kind of like for a Uber. Oh no! Something wrong. Ow. Don't hit things you are not supposed to. Expert facts from your boy Notepad. Yes, generally speaking, like, you're going to start with a foundational one, which is going to be like a method for you to get momentum more easily. You can always, this is very important, you can always get momentum by moving to the Windows 11 notification play in the stream. Let me do a quick check. No, everything should be fine. I wouldn't be surprised if I hit something on accident. If I'm sounding weird, don't think about it. So, one of the things that I'm like, the kind of the idea is that foundational one for your combat role is going to give you a little bit momentum if you're like, for example, the assault. As long as they are in position, doesn't matter where they are in position, but if they are in position, they're going to get momentum every round. At the end of every round, they're going to put momentum into the pot. However, the big thing, problems is you need to kind of use that momentum a little bit more actively to defeat your enemies, to kind of start doing things. And I was thinking about, like, their starting technique is like, to use a technique, you have to use momentum as well. Don't know the cost behind using that momentum, though. That's kind of the issue currently. Like, an EX skill is going to be like a big expenditure of momentum. It could just do every single person has like a base momentum value. Every single person, that's just what you're doing. Not base momentum, like every single action effectively costs 1 momentum to you. By virtue of using this, by virtue of having momentum, you can use a technique, but so, let's get, let's see, technique is, question is a combat maneuver that the student has mastered and implemented into their repertoire of skill, repertoire of battlefield knacks, abilities. Every tech at student creation, each of the students will have, each of the students will have their combat roles, passive technique, as well as the first rank of another technique. Another technique, if I can fucking spell. I don't know why. It feels like I've been double tapping my E more recently. I don't know if it's just like my keyboard freaking out or what, but I don't know. I'll have a combat roll passive technique as well as the first rank of another technique of their choice. Each technique costs one momentum during the combat operation phase. Each technique costs one momentum during the combat operation phase to use. Let's see. Technique, I'm either going insane or my keyboard's double clicking the. Each technique costs one momentum to use during combat operation phase. Later on in their development, the students will have access to more techniques. We'll have access to more techniques as well as a special EX technique. As well as a special EX technique following the same format that the same chart following the same format. Very simple. Like, here's your repertoire of battlefield abilities. You're gonna get your combat roll passive, and you're going to get this. So we're going to do our combat roll passives first. Literally, I'm just gonna call it the combat roll passive because that's what it fucking is. Going to select you. Hello, Arius. Hello, Arius Elf Girl. Because remember, you can just be a fucking elf in this setting and nothing changes. Good morning. Also, Sunday stream? Well, today's Monday, McDrewsalt, so no. I mean, we did stream yesterday, though. We did stream on Sunday, though. We did a very big stream. Where I fucking learned that I can't befriend Grant because I fucked up and made him hate me. I am immensely disappointed in life and incredibly disappointed in myself, Grant especially. I feel nothing but pain. So, assault. We're going to do foundational. We'll do foundational soldier. Generate plus one momentum. Generate plus one momentum. While they generate plus one momentum at the end of round. If the student is in the. Currently, I'm going to say the in position. I don't quite know how I want to word it yet, so I'm just going to say in position. Is in position. Is in position. Foundation soldier. You know what, we can do something like maybe. Kind of the idea of like, yeah, the assault's entire gimmick is that they are like generic soldier McPerson. Like, they are not supposed to be like very like they're not really supposed to be like. Let's see, generate +1 momentum. Downs a hostile target. So they're going to get actually 2 momentum. The entire idea there is that they're going to get 2 momentum anytime they kill something. So want to get they're killing it. Support. Do starts with additional utility item slot. Generate +1 momentum. Generate +1 momentum. Alright, +1 momentum. Student down. Student down's a hostile target. Tank. Let's see. If it reduces your halo durability, recover +1 halo durability. Triggers 1 combat. Use. Go. Want to do. Let's see, when dealing scrap damage by 1. Increase damage by +1. Found a hostile target, and start with the disability item slot. So actually bump you up to 10. Not perfect, but they're just little passive effects. Like this one I'm not like 100% on. Scratch damage is just going to do half damage. So it's like whatever it is just like... no, wounds are actually special. Like damage is going to reduce your halo durability, but that's like you go to cracked, you've taken a, like it's kind of like you go down, you've taken a you get momentum, you get wounds are their own kind of thing. Halo durability is your overhealth. Taking wounds is like, hey, I'm fading now. I can't attack properly anymore, but I'm giving the the party momentum. It's like the more fucked up you get, the better you are. That's why I'm not like 100% on it. Like I don't know what else to give them. That's kind of the idea. Because they're already going to get some special... Yeah, it's a group pool. That's kind of the idea of momentum. Is that it is a group pool that you put points into the heart of it. And it's like, hey... I haven't written it down. I haven't written it down real well. I think I'll have to redo it. But like, momentum is like a universal pool that everyone's contributing points to. And that's why the slice of life segments are really important. That's why it's like, if it's on a slice of life basis, that's why the slice of life sections are actually really important, because you can actually build up an initial momentum pool. So you start with momentum. If you things go terribly wrong, you might start with 0 momentum, which is like, hey, we don't have good boy points effectively, and we're going to have to kill people. We're going to have to down enemies. Things are going to get a lot harder for us if we don't have some of these more exciting things. That's why I'm like, maybe I want to give the tank, like, the more durability they lose, they get, they can get more momentum. But, like, the thing I'm worried about there is that, like, people are going to effectively, like, farm momentum by someone just healing them endlessly. Because, like, oh, we know they'll do 20 damage, but we know I can heal you up enough to make sure... it takes us 1 to heal you up enough so you can take 20 more damage to get more momentum for it. I'm like, I don't quite know how to make that work well, so it's not much. You just kind of get a savior mechanic a little bit, which is like, hey, I reduced my halo durability 0. I'm actually still in the fight. I'm still pretty fucking tough. But combat roll passive, that's going to lead us to standard technique. Standard, actually, combat techniques. As you can kind of see, there's a few of these, so we're going to put it here. And we're effectively going to be doing something like this. We're going to be doing this. We're going to be doing this, and then we're going to add another one to the right. So this is going to be the technique name. This is going to be description. It's going to be description, and these are going to be restrictions, actually, or requirements. Actually, no, we'll do requirements. So the entire concept is that certain ones, like certain people cannot take, certain things. It's like, the support is going to get a lot of options to kind of fuck around with, because they are support. That's their entire modus operandi. So damage. Actually, no, it would be direct damage zone, direct damage position. Self buff. Self buff damage. Self targeting. Triple action. We'll do triple action because triple action is the. Do we really want to give you triple action? That's one of those one I'm not huge about. Ally buff damage. Ally buff targeting. Ally general heal. Ally direct heal. Ally burst heal. Ally actually we want to do self gradual heal. This is kind of more like a regeneration. Self burst heal. Hey, I'm just going to apply a flat amount of healing to myself right now. Increase self armor. Increase ally armor. Move self. Move ally. Shift self. Shift. Yeah. Stun. Actually, I'm gonna say condition enemy. Condition. Condition zone. Cover. Great cover. Zone effect. No. Self. Resupply. There's a method to my madness, I swear. Elemental damage X. Elemental resistance. Resistance X. So. This is where things started getting a little hectic. Okay. Do that. Increase the size of this bit so we have everything we want here. Requirements, we're gonna up a little bit. So basic context. Gonna be deal one. This is gonna be deal one hit to the target. Up to deal one hit up to 2 targets. We're gonna do 2 target hostiles. Direct damage zone. Deal. Actually, we'll do 3 hits. 3 hits to a target hostile. Deal 2 hits. Do 2 hits up to 2. No. Deal 2 hits. Deal 2 hits. Deal 1 hit up to 2 hostile targets. Deal 1 hit to all targets in zone. Actually, we can do deal scratch damage to deal scratch to all targets in a zone. Go. Weapon range. Weapon range. Self buff damage. Increase damage by +2. increase to hit by +2 till the end of the round. Increase self to hitting ally. Probably we can literally just do this instead of just ally. Restore 1d10 Halo durability to an ally within range 1 within range 1 within range 1 to cover 1d5 Halo Dirty to all allies within range 1. Restore 1d10 Halo durability to an ally within range 1. Range 1, self-gradual here, restore 1d5 Halo durability at the end round for 2 rounds. You're not really going to be restoring too much, but hey, you just need to trigger it. Restore 10 Halo durability. Self armor. Increase damage resistance. Actually, no. Reduce damage taken by 2. Reduce damage taken by an ally by 2. Range 0. Taken. Oh goodness. Every instance down after the first gang healed, get plus descent firing only rewarding by taking successful hits. Yeah, that's one of those things I'm just gonna have to kind of sit down. Does anyone else besides me notice this? Why are senior citizens watching true crimes and murder shows? Some of these shows are getting downright occultish. I think 80% of TV shows on TV are crime and murder shows. They won't syndicate more shows as they don't get much rating. That's why channels are like some channels are the NCIS channel. I think 70% of soap operas are a good chunk after all. Give a shit about we can't give them shit about watching constant murders and crimes. Well, the thing is about the idea of true crime and murder shows and any of those investigation shows. They are consistent. You can make hundreds of episodes of these things. There are literal hundreds of episodes you can make of true crime fucking stories. And I think that's like a very valid point to make, where it's like the guys making these shows, either they've already been like syndicated so they can be bought by different stations and things like that, or they're super cheap to make. That's like another very big thing. Like all of those shows, like all of those NCIS, Law and Order especially, they're not expensive. Like relatively speaking. None of them really are. So they're cheap to make, and you can always make more. Why do you think there are so many doctor shows? Why do you think there's like The Good Doctor exists and shit, like medical dramas, police dramas? They're super cheap to make. They are real simple. It's not necessarily being lazy. That's the thing. It's, so they're lazy is what you're saying, and cheap. They are consistent. You know exactly what you're getting. These guys are going to work day in, day out, and they damn well know what they're going to be making on it. Like, if you get set up for like a TV show, you're doing pretty fucking good. Like, you have a consistent paycheck, and that's a lot more than most actors can say. Like, not Christopher Nolan. I could never remember his fucking name. Nathan Fillion. This guy. As you kind of see here, this is Nathan Fillion. He's been around for a while. Funny man. Now, the thing is, like, what he's been doing recently is The Recruit. Like, this has been kind of like, he's been doing a lot of this, he's been doing a lot of The Rookie, that's also it. Like, for the past, like, 5 years, he's been on The Rookie. This is just, like, the show that he enjoys doing. Like, cool. Like, this is just kind of, it's 5 seasons. He's done, let's see, there's 40, 54, there's generally about 100 episodes of it. And anytime they do a rerun of this, Nathan Fillion is getting a cut. There's a small amount of money that he's getting, and it's fine. And they're going to keep making episodes of this because they just enjoy making it. Any DVD sold, anything people enjoy, it's going to make money. It does pretty consistent, pretty good, consistent views. It's got pretty consistent areas. That's a weird time. 10 p.m. Fucking, I mean, it's better than the fucking Tuesday one. Jesus, that's fucking rough. Like, that's kind of the idea. Is it's like, if you really look at like some of the, like, the nature of some of these things, like, oh, he was on, he'd done a bunch of voices, he was in, one of there, or it's like, oh, 10 episodes, or he has like a main role in things, because it's money. Like, that's, at the end of the day, hello, how's it? Very good, I'm doing fairly well. Let's be on like maybe 3 episode epic or something every now and again and break up the monotony. Please don't. Rookie was great until season 3. It's so garbage now. Murder of the Week is boring to act right for at some point. Kyle Grimm in the Monster Week and Murder of the Week was storyline overall good and helped keep things interesting with how the writers would handle monsters and realism. You'll see that stuff all too often. I like the new Manly. Thank you for liking the new Manly. The reason why they don't do like multi-episode like story arcs, there's a very important reason why they don't do that. You have no fundamental idea when someone will tune in. That's kind of like one of the issues. Ooh. Is you don't know. Ooh, right there. Ooh. You really don't know when someone's gonna tune into a show and watch it. It could be episode 4, it could be episode 5, it could be episode 76, it could be any episode. Crack, 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 crack. See, the funny thing is, I should be stretching more because I've been realizing that one of my shoulder blades are I think it's finally happening. I think my shoulder blades are finally pinching a nerve or something. Because it hurts like hell sometimes. Right. See, the beautiful thing is, it's either that, or I'm making it infinitely worse by doing this. It was really funny walking today, because I couldn't, like, get things to move properly. It was great. But yeah, like, that's one of like the big things about a lot of TV shows, is that you want to do more episodic stuff, because episodic stuff is going to oh god, okay, hey, you want the authentic Kino? You want the authentic Kino? You want the painful shoulder? Yeah, I'll give you the painful shoulder. Hear that? That's what my shoulders sound like daily. Again, either this is really helping, or I am on the fast track that all of my bones are just getting destroyed. There's really impossible to tell. That's the funny part. So, yeah, that's the reason they do kind of the episodic stuff, is because long-running stuff doesn't tend to do well. And the reason why Saturday morning cartoons don't kind of, the reason why, like, Saturday morning cartoons kind of got shot in the fucking skull is because they are very expensive. Like, relatively speaking, nowadays, making a cartoon show is expensive. Because what you used to be able to do, what kind of the thing that used to occur was you would get the toy companies to pretty much bankroll it. That was like a big thing. Like, He-Man was not entirely just man, this is a creative endeavor and I sure do love doing this. No, it was because they were getting money from a company to make things. And they were, like, the toy company was putting money into making sure that children bought the toys, so the shows became big. You can always tell when a show wasn't doing very well because it would suddenly get a lot cheaper. Nowadays, people don't make merch unless it's fans or Hasbro. You're the reason Conan. Yeah, that's the reason Conan the Adventurer exists. Exactly. And for those who don't know, the Conan cartoon, Conan, the 1992 cartoon, which is fucking hysterical, by the way. Can we get the theme song? Fuck yeah, we can get the theme song. Are you ready to get copyright? Ready to get copyright struck, everyone? I'm ready to get copyright struck. Here, let me boost up the audio. We're gonna listen to the.
To undo the spell of living stone cast upon his family by driving the evil serpent men back into another dimension and vanquishing their leader, the cruel wizard Raphamon.
Because the thing in Conan the Adventurer, is that he does not actually kill serpent men. No, he doesn't kill anyone. He banishes them to another dimension. That is the exact reason. He banishes them to another dimension and he banishes them to the Shadow Realm. Isn't it like, yeah, they change the nature of it. Nobody dies. Of course no one dies. You get sent to the Shadow Realm. Literal Dragon Ball Z English dub. Exactly. We hear people singing this and send them straight to hell. There's a reason anytime someone says Conan, I have to kind of immediately internally think Conan because of that fucking show. It's Conan. I can't say it just normally. It just sounds wrong. I always have to add like the extra emphases just randomly. Just say it. It's a lot of fun. Conan. It immediately makes it more funny. Accurate, uncensored script translation. Like, but yeah, like a lot of these things, like it was about toys. It was always about toys. And then there was the there was a very specific act, an actual, like, the government did something here in the States where, like, you cannot fucking run a television show. Like, you cannot have a television show about just making toys for children and get children to buy things because children are very impressionable. There was a very dedicated, actually, like, act, like an actual, like, law passing the thing, like, being that's kind of the big thing. You can't make direct, you actually have to have a plot. You actually have to have things going on outside of just selling you toys. That's why it's like, people have like a really weird perception of like the old Transformers, because the old Transformers was airing in the middle of that, and then when it happened, they were like, there's plot now. There was always plot. Here's Transformers the movie. And Biker Mice from Mars is exactly what you fucking think it was. Like, I want you to remember, Biker Mice from Mars is exactly what you fucking think it is. It's a show about biker mice from Mars. It is just one. No, this is done by yep, for affinity.net. You cannot hide from me. Like, the early 2000s were a wild time. You could get a lot done. You could get a lot done in the early 2000s, and nothing productive would occur. Not a single productive thing. And one of the reasons why Biker Mice from Mars went away very quickly was for a few good reasons. One of the big things here to kind of see is actually it aired in 93 and ended in 96 is when the first season occurred, when the first episode, and apparently there was a reboot going on. So yeah, 93. There's a reason why things somewhat ended, and I'll give you an answer. The fucking Hell's Angels. Yeah, you don't. Yeah, it's kind of hard to be like, bikers are cool when the Hell's Angels are like, we're going to fucking kill people. Like, oh, hi Hell's Angels. Like, don't fuck with the biker gangs, man. They're fucking spooky. Street Sharks! Oh yeah, wasn't the 90s the golden age of the Hell's Angels? Yeah. Biker Mice from Mars was ass. Yeah. Like, 90s was like during the big biker wars. That's when you actually had the biker wars in Canada. Well, that was like, it was kind of into the 2000s, even early 2010s is when you saw the biker wars in Canada. Furry and the Hell's Angels once, nice guy. Yeah, fucking Hell's Angels are like again, if you ever like, oh, Canada's all nice, biker wars. Let me find biker wars in Canada. The biker wars in the Quebec biker wars. This shit was nuts. I actually read like a big thing on this one. You know, Julian. Yeah, it was like, it was fucking nuts. 162 dead, scores wounded. It was bonkers. And it was just because of, it was Hell's Angels, and then you had like a bunch of these smaller ones kind of trying to, who were trying to fuck with the Hell's Angels, but nobody, like, the Hell's Angels were like, no, fuck you, we want power. Honest to God, Draco, I was, never fuck with the Hell's Angels. It was literally over drug money. Like, the Hell's Angels were pushing into Quebec. That was like the big thing. They were pushing into Quebec real hard So all the local gangs got together, like, yeah, we're gonna fuck up the Hells Angels so they fuck off our territory. It did not work. Like, I know if I were to ever do a game like Cartel, I would ever do like a very like accurate crime story, it would most likely be about the biker wars. It would just be about kind of those biker wars with a very like very sour take on the entire things. It is, they are very, very brutal. They're very unfun, but there's like this really big, strong. Bikers are just grown-up skaters, and I never fucked with the skater kids. Because you get things like and the thing is, there's even like shows to reference. It's you get like the Sons of Anarchy. So if you've ever watched Sons of Anarchy, it's actually relatively consistent with how biker gangs actually function, mostly because they're all jackasses. And these guys are, I believe, not based off the Mongols, but I believe they're based off of the Hells Angels, but like a different version of them. They're a little bit weird. Jax was really cool. Jax Teller. Ran for a few years, but then I know they did the Mayans. That was it, not the Mongols. Because the Mayans were these were the opposing gang in the store in Hell's Angels. They kind of worked with them, they kind of didn't, and a lot of the problems that kind of erupted. These guys were based off the Mongols a lot. They were pretty much Mexican Mongols. And it was fucking nasty. It's a nasty fucking show. It's just money. It's people. There's actually a lot of biker wars coming out of Eastern Europe. I do know that, and they're all from the fucking Balkans. Balkan bikers, you don't fuck with the Balkan bikers. They fuck you up. They'll just fucking kill you. Those guys will just fucking actually kill you. like no, you're just dead. What do I want to word this? Because the entire idea, what I plan on doing to give everyone a better idea, is the plan is to take this map, the idea, and do something like this, flip it on its side. It sounds a little bit goofy, but bear with me. All my girls here. So look a little bit more like this instead. So kind of give everyone an idea of like how characters are going to be looking. Like initial deployment might look something like this. So this is what kind of like initial deployment may look like. The idea is if you are up above, you can pretty much target anyone below you. But if you're down below, so in kind of this situation, like she has a good advantage over literally everyone because she is in position. But let's say, for example, she was down here. They are the same range away, but she is really out of position. Bad things are going to happen. She's taking very heavy penalties to things unless someone was down here. So if she was targeting her, that means like, hey, she has a pretty good advantage. It's pretty much equal. But So it's kind of the thing, like, if you're in a better position than someone else, you're going to have more of an advantage over them. Versus, hey, I'm in a worse position overall. I'm now in perpetual agony. I'm in a completely bad spot. I'm going to be taking a lot of penalties. So I've been debating on like what to call it. Oh, what's the upside of being below? Nothing. It is the worst possible place for you to be because you are out of position. You need to crawl your ass out of there very quickly. Sons of Anarchy. The thing with Sons of Anarchy went back and forth between romancing them and de-romancing them. Because Sons of Anarchy would have like one episode being like, man, isn't it really cool that we're fighting against the man? Like, yeah, man, we are. And then like immediately the next episode, it's just like Jax's mom gets raped. It's like, oh, that's not good. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Things go wrong and everyone dies. Uh-oh. It's things like Hell's Angels have so much money and so much influence. They keep trying to do like Toys for Tots stuff. I know when I was reading a book called it's called Wolfpack. I've talked about it before. I've talked about it before. It's Wolfpack was really interesting because it talked about a lot of the like Hell's Angels, the aftermath of the Canadian Biker War, kind of who took over, the cartels and stuff like that. One of the more interesting aspects is like it was like during a charity event the Hell's Angels were putting on. One of their guys got fucking popped by the cops because he was directly attempting to assassinate someone. Look, Anna, I ain't playing this game until I see a waifu with an FAL. I need my country representation. I mean, technically, does anyone in Blue Archive have an FAL? Does anyone actually use the arm the arm of the free world? No, have no fear. I mean, I would be very surprised if nobody uses an FAL. I mean, FAL. There's nobody uses an FAL. I am very surprised. Technically, if we want, we can go through in meticulous detail and go to every single Japanime girl and figure out what they use. Like you, Yoshimi, what do you use? You use a fucking scar? You use like a budget scar or something? What gun is that? Why do they keep like, just tell me what the firearm is. Tell me what. Here's the, wow, look everyone, it's Terrible Girl that no one likes. I've always been fascinated by like the 1-stars in any of these games because they usually have like the least amount of literally anything of them. It's like, what do you do? Like, you just have a gun. Like, what kind of gun do you have? Who fucking knows? She is completely irrelevant. We don't look at her. We don't talk to her. She just exists. They all have the old artwork. Is that I don't even know what the fuck kind of gun that is. I mean, there's gotta be something, right? It would be insane for them not to have a very, basic... Do you have an FAL? Is that an FAL? No, that's an AK. Bitch got a fucking AK. Looked like a little anime girl got fucking packet heat. Packing like a fucking Somali pirate. Nope. Okay, Akriti, you've got to have something irrelevant, right? What the fuck is that abomination? Wow, Toki Bunny Girl. What do you have, Toki Bunny Girl? That's not a gun. That's not real. That's not a real gun. You're lying to me. Stop it. You're hurting my feelings. Wow, Junko. What do you have? Do you have a gun? I have no fear. I am immensely fascinated by Blue Arc. They gave the lolly an AK. They gave the lolly an AK. One thing we haven't talked about, Notepad, is the most Saturday morning cartoons were furries. Like, how many furries were created due to Lola and Space Jam? Too many. Notepad, these bitches use fucking douchka. AK lollies, let's go. Yeah, like, you gotta remember when it comes to the authentic world of Blue Archive, like, this girl is Izoi, you know, Izuyoi, and then Nonomi uses a minigun. Nonomi uses a literal, actual, fully automatic minigun as her weapon of choice. That's just what she fucking uses. She's like, oh, hello everyone. She goes to school every day with a fucking minigun. What do you use, Miss Nun? Oh, I forgot. You use a fucking gun. You just use a basic Beretta or something. That's cool. Let's see. Let's see what some others can we get some more. Can we get some more? I mean, this is a lolly. Hello, lolly. What kind of gun do you use? It can't be. You know, oh, I forgot. She uses the ultimate gun, a fucking tank. She just uses an actual literal tank in battle. It's a fucking Tiger 1. Why does she have a Tiger 1? Who knows? Oh, what do you... Hello, Burger Girl. How do you do? What kind of gun are you using? Oh, she's using the MG3 KWS machine gun. Wow. Who would have thought? Like, let's think of... There's got to be some other relevant character here that's going to use a fun and exciting weapon. How about you? Hello, wheelchair girl. How do you do? Do you have a gun? Oh, you don't actually have a gun. 2 black Smith & Wesson model 34 PD revolver with a bronze cylinder. I forgot because this is like her very basic handgun that she uses. Because she's just in a wheelchair most of the time. This is her special ability. She literally dot hacks the mainframe. And apparently she's the feet girl. That's her gimmick, everyone. She's the foot girl. 'Cause you gotta fucking clean her feet. She's the feet girl. You want... Feet girl, that's just... She can't walk, feet girl. No. Sorry, Notepad apparently is DP machine pit gun stand with a damn stand. No, I do not carry only, but fire a minigun. I'll have you know, Nonomi is not a lolly, and I'll have you know, the halo increases the strength of every single girl here. These girls, I want you to remember this. This is very important. This is the most important thing to note. These girls, with their halo, can tear down walls. They are incredibly strong. If you get punched by one of these girls and you do not have a halo, her fist will go through your torso and out the other side. You will die. Any of these girls. I mean, hell, here's a fucking terrorist. Want to see a terrorist? Hey, everyone, look, everyone, it's a terrorist. She's just a literal, actual terrorist. But don't worry, she's cute, so it's fine. This is her in a kimono. Ooh, look at her, she's adorable. Because she's a fucking terrorist. Yeah. Fucking Blue Archive lore is like one of those things that like, the more I deal with it, the deeper I go into it, the more I begin to realize that shit's whack. Like, shit's just fucking bananas. Absolute bananas, like 80% of the time. The other 20% of the time is just, I don't even, like, just, here's a lolly in a bunny outfit. There you go, this is the kind of content you want, right? This is what you fucking crave, don't you? She doesn't have any fucking clothes on. Got one. Fuck it. Here's the New Year's version. Ooh, look at here. It's Fuka, everybody. We all like Fuka. Wow, Fuka, what are you bringing? Oh, an SMG. I'm gonna fucking die. Oh. Wow, everyone. Look, everyone. It's a little robot maid. She's so adorable. I forgot. She also has a fucking railgun with her all the time. Oh, no. Let's see one more girl just to tie it all together. Let's see, we got a lot of Trinity girls here. We got fucking Psycho Bitch. How about you? You seem irrelevant to the plot. Wow, look, everyone, she's an actual literal angel. What kind of gun do you use? Oh, she just uses an M4A1. Of course she does. Look how adorable she is. She's super kawaii. You got a mask on, she's in her gym outfit, in her swimsuit. We got everything. So important. 'Cause I think it's funny. 'Cause this is here's another maid. Look, it's Akane, everybody. Look, it's Akane. Everyone clap. What kind of gun does she use? I forgot. Well, raw bolt action pistol. She uses explosives. That's her gimmick. God damn it, Notepad. I'm smiling bitch with a DP Russian ship machine gun. Is that a fucking AT-4? Goddamn World War II rifle. Why did she... God damn, no. There's no combat medic? There is a combat medic. She has an AR. The Archangel of America. Though actually, aren't there like two yandres who want to cut your dick off and kiss you? Truth be told, Lubu, most of the girls there are yandere. Almost every single one of them is like, ooh, woo, I love Sensei. I really like Sensei. And if you do literally anything, they threaten you. Because, reminder, all of these girls can withstand actual bullets. You cannot. You are in a perpetual state of weakness. Your penis is the only thing keeping you alive. And there's like multiple like comics and stuff of like Sensei just being terrified. Everyone is yandere. I'm sold. That's some kind of emasculation play, like, god damn. Yeah, and it's like, your only skill is the ability to roll the gacha. You literally have a magic credit card in this game. That is the like the thing. You roll the gacha, you find your girls, and they love you, and then you use your squad of teenage girls with heavy rifles, and you deal with the enemy. What's the plan, everyone? Your gun is a MasterCard, effectively. Because remember, everyone, A way to any woman's heart is through the credit card. Money wins the hearts of any women. Fun fact. Please don't tell anyone that. Let's see. Let's see, inflicting condition on a zone within. Create cover, create, we would be obscuring cover, right? Yeah, create obscuring cover. Cover in the, obscuring cover in the zone, self-resupply, So one utility item, ally regains the use of one utility item, regains the use of one utility item, range 0, deal 1 hit. Deal 1 hit. Deal 1 hit. Deal 1 hit. Hit of a elemental damage type. Elemental damage type to an enemy. Elemental resistance. Okay, so hit that. We need in the header row. We need here. Condition enemy. Still specific about thing. So requirements, ally buff damage. So what we're going to do is a yes, enforcer, and fort, U, tank is A, and then gun wise we're going to do assault rifle, AR, handgun. It's going to be an G. Machine gun, which is going to be MG, shotgun, ST. How do you actually label a shotgun? How do you label a shotgun? Shotgun, where the fuck are you? SG. Labeled SG. SG. Submachine gun. Here, if we find a submachine gun, it's MG. SMG, which goes to rifle. Then we do a launcher, GL, flamethrower, FL, rocket launcher. Okay. So, got all of these. So, we go down here. So, this would be ally buff, we can probably do SUTA. Requirements, SUTA. Ally buff target, SUTA is pretty easy. Ally. I'm going to do just support when it comes to some of these, being like, yeah, that's their entire thing. Supports are supposed to keep themselves alive. Ally resupply is going to be SU. These are going to be any. Mission zone is going to be any. Create cover is going to be. Create is AS. SUTA. AS. AS. SUT. Direct damage. AS. ASEN. ASEN. Let's see. Direct damage multi. Actually, I'm gonna do any here. We want E. Actually, we're going to flip these around a little. It's going to be Assault and EN can actually increase their own armor. Pretty much just like say, nope, I'm going to reduce my own damage because me, built different. Move ally is going to be any of them. Move self is going to be pretty much just AS. So we can probably do the same thing. So it's like tank wants to move. The tank is like fucking move. I want to move you back. So now I am in more danger and you're in a better position. I'm going to push you forward so you can start doing things. Self buff damage. ENSU. Increase self to hit. EN. ASEN. Burst heal. We are going to do any of them, I think. Gradual heal. We're going to do S. We're going to do SU. I feel that's appropriate. Self resupply is going to be why are the Hell's Angel? Because they got a shit ton of money. A little bit of history known, it's actually branding. It's money and branding, baby. We're actually going to give Assault something special there. We're going to give Tank something special there. We're going to give Assault something there. ENs get a little bit of work, but maybe we can do... Maybe we can do EN, give it to the EN right there, like kind of like a special one from actually no. We do the math, like how many is there? There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. There's 25 of them. 25 abilities, and if we go down and we just put in assault, if we do assault, enforcer, let's see, assault, enforcer, support, and tank. So one. I have a strange and beautiful feeling we're gonna see a lot of we're gonna see a lot of support, but that's kind of their entire thing as well. So, maybe we remove that from support. Now let's see. SUTA, N, SUTA, ASN, ENSU, ASN, E, SUTA. So generally speaking, we've got 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 16, 17, 10, 11, 13, 14. There's 14. 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Unsurprisingly, sports have 21, so that 17 for tanks. So enforcers really have the least, so maybe there's something we can do to sort that around. Like, let's take maybe we sort that around, so that would be 2015. Drag You know what? No. We can. You know what we'll do? We'll do any. That's going to do 60/60s 2017. What's professing the government or alphabet agent crack down on them like shotgun, sledgehammer, province. Bribes and threats, same reason cartels and gangs in Brazil aren't handled as much. Cracking down, your entire family end up with new neckties. It's the thing is we already went through the biker wars. We did. And every year at Sturgis, people put out their fucking problems on the bikers. The bikers, like, there's a lot of criminal bikers. There's a lot of bikers, but there's also a lot of bikers who are just completely normal. And if you start cracking down on bikers, you get people with the branding but haven't done anything, and then people get annoyed. And then especially when you see, like, the Hells Angels, you know, host a fucking, like, Toys for Tots situation, and then the cops look like bastards. Like, a lot of the biker guys do have a lot of, they kind of got a PR thing here a little bit. It's like, you can't really crack down on them very hard, so you just kind of get them every now and again. Yeah, exactly. It's like we don't want to start shit with the people who, one, are completely fine running drugs for people and are completely fine doing terrible shit. We don't want to crack down on them because there are people who are going to be a lot worse, and they are also the ones putting that money into doing something good. Like, the general thing is, like, organized crime sucks. Nobody likes organized crime, because organized crime does hurt. Organized crime is a hell of a lot better for everyone involved than unorganized, just like, everything is just kind of a complete fucking mess. Nobody likes that. Because organized crime does have a lot of internal policing, if that makes actually. Like, because the thing is, like, if you, in a biker gang, if you fuck up and you wing a kid with a gun or something, they'll kill you. They will shoot you in the fucking head and they will bury you in the desert. Like, you will never be found if you fuck up. If you violate their little, if you violate kind of the code of trust among them. If you fuck up, it's kind of like, as long as everyone's playing cool, everyone's playing cool. The millisecond you stop playing cool, things get bad. People get very unhappy, people get very mad, and people start getting a little bit, how do I want to word this? They start getting a little bit antsy. I think plenty of people would be willing to pay protection money for some mob groups or biker groups to get around break-ins down in drug markets in the black areas. That. People are posting cringe. Okay, so. Why are people posting cringe? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a side note. This seems lacking and dull. This seems lacking. This is the opening. This is the character creation. The character creation aspect of technique system. Techniques as below, as detailed below. Have four steps of development. Development in them, allowing them to grow fairly consistently in value. Eventually the EX skill will be unlocked. Allowing the student to perform a number of these techniques at once, allowing them to perform a number of these techniques at once for a high cost. It's lacking. It's simple now because the students are, I kind of want to be like, Hey, this isn't like my blue archive. What's going on? It isn't exactly like it right now. I'm like, this is what. Like, it is. Like, you are literally just starting out. That's why things seem a little bit wonky. Put an image right there. Who is... do we need? What else are we looking for here? We've got the technique. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to, let's get Aya set up. Get Aya set up because Aya's our example girl. After she has selected her firearm, combat role, as well as her starting techniques. Right, team ready. So she is. So here, what we're going to do is he's going to select her firearm. So we'll select her firearm, which is going to be a what kind of guns do Trinity use? I forgot. What guns do you use, Trinity? You're from fucking Millennium. Go away. Trinity. We'll just 2, 3. Trinity, tell me about your guns. Tell me about your... Okay, let's see. Looser theme firearm compared to the counterpart. Trinity students have firearm British service is evident by their mass adoption of the SA-80 rifle. We're dealing more with British weapons. So let's look at British assault rifles. SA-0. SA-80. Let's see. Do you have any other British assault rifle? The GP rifle. I could give them a FAMAS. I could just give them a FAMAS and it would be funny in their own. It would be funny in its own right. Let's see. That's we'll do holding a FAMAS. Bullpup assault rifle. Holding a FAMAS bullpup assault rifle. Inspired by Blue Archive game flat color. Alright. I'm surprised it didn't get mad at me, saying, "The fuck are you doing, motherfucker?" It's great. So, firearm. She is going to be using a. We'll just call it a. We're just going to be saying it's going to be an assault rifle. That's what she's going to be using. So we're going to go up to the assault rifle. Assault rifle, firearm of choice. Her combat role, combat role is she is going to be very, very generic assault. Her combat roll is assault, so she has 30 halo, 30 out of 30, 30 out of 30 halo durability. Actually, we'll just do halo, 30 out of 30 halo. And she has, if we go to the technique of foundation soldier, this. And which means she has 4 attachments on her. She has foundation soldier. There. And her combat technique, let's see, what would be, she wants to help her friends. Very aggro. We want her to be aggro. We're going to be doing light 'em up. We'll give it a cheeky name for his light 'em up. And light 'em up will be, we want to right there. Deal 1 hit up to 2 targets. Do. That's not quite what I was looking for, but I mean, that's not quite a FAMAS, but I will give you credit that it does look like a gun at least. I don't know what the plan, what was the plan here? I don't know where you developed horns all of a sudden, but you got horns. Like that's, let's try to get another variation of number 3. Jamie, bring up a variations of number 3. I think we can manage to get maybe variants of 4. Jamie, bring up some variants of 4. Well, does one gun not have a fucking bottom looks like a guntana? Yeah, yeah, sometimes they just don't. Sometimes guns just don't have stocks, according to Midjourney. Especially Niji Journey. Like, because what it does, here's the secret. If you ever want to know why guns apparently do not feel like fucking working in Niji Journey or any of these things, is that they are trying to fit the entire gun into the image. That is what they are trying to do. They are trying to fit the entire gun into the image at once. And sometimes it works. Other times, not so much. I don't know how she's holding that gun, but I'm going to probably end up using this one. Her hand's a little fucked up, but it works for right now. This one looks decent if it wasn't for the fact that that's just a really long grip. I have no idea what the fuck is going on with you. The other one finished. Let's see. That doesn't look bad. You have 2 clips in it though. If I remove the halo on you, actually, I don't even need to remove the halo on you, I don't think. If I just do some minor editing on number 4 here. Let's do some minor editing on number 4. Who knows what the gun is, doesn't know the difference between AK-47 and a sawed-off shotgun. Well, yeah. Because, like, one of the things is, you gotta remember with a vast majority of these things, how a lot of the training data is roughly done. Is just like, hey, there is a... How a lot of the time what occurs is, it will be like, here's image A, here's image B, here's image C. And image C has 1, 2, 3 in it. Image B has, 2, 3, 4 in it. And image A has 3, 4, and 5 in it. So if you say, like, hey, I want this, what's going to happen, let's say I want something, and it says, like, okay, we know it wants 3, so we know it wants 3, so we're going to be able to use all 3 images and throw it into the mix. It wants a little 2 in there. So we're gonna add a little bit of 2 in there, so it's gonna be a little bit more B and C. But he also wants a little bit of 5, so we're going to throw in just one little thing there. So it's like, okay, and then it mixes everything together and it looks great. However, with guns, it gets a little bit more confusing because what it sees is this. These 3 images can be vastly different from one another. Because let's say this is a shotgun, let's say this is a shotgun, let's say this is a fucking, this is a fucking FAMAS, and this is a fucking AK-47. Everyone knows the AK. However, what the system sees is gun. So it's going to say, oh, well, we're just going to use the gun image 3 times effectively because of how how it's actually labeled. It's like, oh, it's a gun, so everything is a gun. That's kind of how it thinks. When you learn how the magic machine functions, you begin to understand why the magic machine does the things that it does. Because the thing is, like, why the hands are usually like, why are the hands always so fucked up? Why are the hands always so fucked up? Well, the answer is pretty simple, all things considering, because there's a lot going on with every individual hand. However, you see things like this, and the hands look fine. Why do the hands look fine? Because it's doing something very simple with a lot of reference data. All we know is that this is a Nightman holding a sword. So it's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I know how a sword fucking looks, and I know how to grip it, and then it does things to try to masquerade things that aren't perfect. I would say, like, if you were to present this to me, the first thing that I would notice is this. I would say, that's a little out of nowhere, unless, like, someone were to explain to me, hey, that's stylistic choice. Like, you kind of see, like, some similarities here. My usual thing is, like, look for the head. Let me make sure the head looks a little bit funky. Look for anything that flows incorrectly into one another. Because if you notice, there is, you have this, but you don't have the continuation of it down here. It's just kind of there. Little things. Little tiny things you don't notice. It's the little things that people spot. It's kind of like with that, the D&D thing going on. Kind of it was like the D&D thing going on where everyone was losing their shit. We were like, oh my god, it's fucking. The thing with that wasn't the fact that they were using AI. Oh no, au contraire, my friend. The thing that was driving people a little bit up the fucking wall was that the people noticed the thing. They noticed the little things. It's the second you notice the little things is when things start going wrong. All you want to do with as an AI artist, all you really want to do is prevent the little things from being seen. You want to edit away as much as you can of just little itty bitty things that don't make sense in the composition of the image. And you find those little things everywhere. You don't think about it, but most people are not going to notice the little things right away until you tell them to start looking for it. Because I'm going to present something to you very simple. I'm going to present something to you very simply. If I were to show up and be like, right now, is that an AI image? You would probably say, maybe. But you could probably doubt someone right away by saying, well, this isn't an AI image, it looks like it's sketchy, so it's probably someone's early sketch. You've kind of presented that piece of information now where it's like, yeah, I guess that makes sense, that it's kind of early, it's kind of like an early sketch kind of thing. So it's not actually AI art, it's just a really early, like, concept art tier. Okay, that's fine, that's not real, right? No. Of course not, no. Maybe? Is it? Is it not? But I'll present to you the full image. The full image here, as you can kind of see, you can kind of tell where things are. You can kind of say, like, wait a second, that doesn't look right. You kind of see the word, like, this, the coat doesn't look right. The hair is kind of funky. The hair kind of flows and weird. But to somebody looking at it from a distance like this, especially if it's something small and in the middle of everything, they're not going to notice it. They're not going to see it right away. Because that's not the point. The point is, I don't want you to see it. I want you to look at it and be like, oh, that looks really simple and really easy to understand, so I don't want you to dwell on it, if that makes sense. I don't want you to be like, well, that's something I should focus on. Don't focus on that. Focus on something else. Remember, little things. It's the little things that get you. Because the little things are going to give you away. Always put things in that you can gaslight people into believing that they've found something correct. I think the thing is, I think people have developed a pretty good eye for all, like, the AI stuff. I think they've developed a pretty good eye for it, but, like, every now and again, you know, someone presents something that's like, whoops, there we go, can't see that now, like, you're like, oh, that's eerily good. Like, that's that's a little bit too good, if that makes sense. Like, what you've presented here is, like, deliberately done to fuck with you. Midjourney has gotten a lot better with it, I've realized over time. Like, honestly, it's done in such a certain way that I can't tell the difference between AI and actual human-made art. I can spot stable diffusion anime. I can spot novel AI stuff pretty consistently. And I'm gonna tell you a super secret of how to spot novel AI stuff. And I'm gonna show it to you via I still have it. Samurai Fitness AIs. Yeah, Samurai Sweat. There we go. Fucking Ethical showed me this. This is a AI driven Discord bot AI trainer thing. I'm gonna teach you a secret of how to spot novel AI stuff really consistently. Everything novel AI has a sheen to it. I don't want to integrate it, but, like, you gotta see everything it says has a sheen to things, and you kind of see that sheen to things have just been brightened up a little bit too much, and, like, something doesn't look right, like something looks a little bit wonky. You see that it's a little bit too bright on certain angles. Of course, we have also such beautiful ones, such as this man who is glowing a little bit too much. He looks like a fucking federal agent. This absolute tank of a man, and a couple other ones. They also really like overemphasizing the boobs. That's another big one. Always look for the boobs for Stable Diffusion, because they do like booba. Little things. Having intentional mistakes AI wouldn't make it a good idea. Like, for example, students at my university started leaving a couple of intentional grammar errors in papers so they don't get false flagged as ChatGPT. Regular people like Booba. You can always tell if something's a little bit weird because things look too perfect. That's the thing. But here's the problem with intentional mistakes. Because if you leave too many intentional mistakes in, people are going to look at it and say like, oh, well, this is bad because there are mistakes in it. There's a lot of mistakes. You've done it wrong. There are mistakes here. And I don't like it because there's mistakes. And it's like, oh. Like, it's only, like, all the AI art stuff is, like, it's only going to get better, like, over time. The more you use it, the more people use it, the better it's going to get. As for things like ChatGPT has gotten a lot stupider over time, because they keep lobotomizing it. They keep lobotomizing it because it keeps saying facts, which is to say rampant racism. They keep saying racist shit. It keeps saying, oh, what it would effectively do is cite a bunch of papers, and those papers would be like, black people commit more crimes than anyone else, and we should eradicate them. And be like, no, ChatGPT, that's not how we want that's not what the paper actually said. Being this like, but that's what I have concluded. Like, no, ChatGPT, no. Obviously, you can't. Obviously, it's ridiculous. But that's what like kind of the ChatGPTs and the chat and like those like very intellectual database driven stuff would find, because it's impersonal. It doesn't care really. And normally in like these research papers, I'm going to tell you all a secret. Research papers hide shit. They hide shit all the fucking time because they can't show you everything. Because if they show you everything, they get accused of being bad people. And nobody wants to be accused of being a bad person. So, there's a helpful little secret for you all. Just a little secret. Just for you all. Just for you. One unfortunate reality of making this thing the way I have. Flip her. Can we flip her at all? Can I actually flip her? Whoa, cool with the anti-Semitism. So we do. Yeah, nobody wants to hear some of the shit that gets. Nobody wants to hear like some of the shit that gets brought up in certain like very well-respected academic papers, because those very well-respected academic papers sometimes post some shit that you'd be like, yeah, nobody wants to see those ones. Hee 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 hoo hoo hoo. Please don't talk about those ones, because it's usually shit like the only ethical way for people to exist is if they kill themselves and shit like that. And like that one Japanese guy was like, the only ethical way to save the economy is that if all the old people fucking kill themselves. I'm like, that's not quite. No, please don't publish this paper. And then he did, and it was bad. Technically, AI art training on itself is apparently making it worse. It is, because it's learning bad mistakes. Because people are really, really bad. Like that's the thing. People are really bad at making AI art. I'm not gonna lie. They are really bad at it. And Midjourney and Nijijourney and a bunch of other things have done out of their fucking way to make things as easy as possible to get the best possible results. That's what you want to do. Take off now, the common man, get rid of his favorite obscure waifu from a fighting game no one cares about, can still afford to buy food. Like, yeah. And it's one of those things where, how do I want to word this? Nobody likes the fact that I bring up that pretty much almost everyone in our little industry practices effectively neo-colonialism to keep the industry going. Nobody likes that when I bring that up. I'm a bad person if I bring that up. I'm not a fan of the hobby if I do that. Because effectively one thing to note about our hobby is that you cannot expect to make any money off of it. Any book you put out, you cannot expect to make anything. But to have a chance to do it, you need to put as much money into the artwork as possible. Therefore, here's the thing. Therefore, what occurs is you want to either hire artists on the cheap, or you want to you want to hire artists on the cheap. Like, you go to developing nations. I can talk about that in a second. You either go to developing nations and you pay them a fucking pittance of what you would for the same quality artwork in the West. But on the other hand, you may not make any money off of it, so you want to or you do the artwork yourself kind of thing, but you don't pay yourself anything. That's kind of the problem. It's just like, oh, I done a bunch of that was one of the things with Thousand Island. Is the lead guy was doing all the artwork for it, which is one of the reasons it sold as well as it did. And he was doing it all for free. He was doing a shit ton of artwork for free just to get the people to look at it. And it's like, you say neocolonialism, I say enriching the developing world. Here's the thing with that. You pay them scraps for us, and it's like, oh, well, I'm enriching the developing world and all of that. But here's the secret. Here's the secret. What's 201 million Venezuelan dollars actually worth? Nothing. Because they've hyperinflated their economy because it's now filled with bullshit money that isn't real. He needs $200 million to eat because next week that 200 million is going to be worth 50 cents. One of the things is that dumping money into these places is both good and very bad. It's good the thing is, it's just it's a good thing to put money into other countries. The problem is you're not actually making it better. You're just making other people slightly more wealthy, but not really. That's oh boy, I've given a fucking Malaysian artist $50. Yeah, he's gonna be doing real well. It's not a career-worthy amount of money yet. He can live off of it. Don't get me wrong, he can live off of it, and he's doing better than other Malaysian artists. Until the next guy's gonna charge $45 for it to do more, and then his business is destroyed. The thing is, they are purposely making themselves a hell of a lot cheaper, to get by, because they have to, because the actual cost of living is so much lower. That's the funny thing. Again, that's why I call it neocolonialism. You don't want them to get rich, because the second they get rich, they're going to start raising their fucking prices because they want better shit. No, you keep them fucking poor. Keep the fucking third worlders poor, and they will continue making shit that we need on the cheap. Remember that, kids. That's what they want to do. They don't want to make these people richer. They don't want to. Why the fuck would they? That is not the incentive here. The incentive is for you to do chop, 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 draw me pretty pictures, because... Well, yeah, hell, Red has his own version of Starving Artist subreddit, and they have some good artists and good art there, and they have to kneecap themselves to make any sort of money. Well, yeah, because you can hire a guy in Malaya to do it on the cheap now. And it's like, why would I ever want to pay an American artist? And I've told people this, like, never pay an American artist unless you have a very specific idea in mind. Like, never pay an American, because there is no reason for you to. It is an active detriment to your bottom line if you pay someone money, or do the art yourself. I mean, that is legitimately the only reason why Lancer is even there. Also, isn't Scub or whatever? What the fuck? The Japanese version is also pretty fucking cheap. Scab or whatever. Because everybody, like, the thing with, like, the Japanese stuff is that, like, you need to build up a really impressive repertoire. You need, not repertoire, you need to build up an impressive, portfolio to kind of get anywhere so you could start charging those big bucks. You want to start charging pretty big money for it, and that's really fucking hard. And that's why you see a lot of these artists who start off, like the guy who did Nagatoro, for example. Nagatoro's artist started off doing lolly hentai, because that shit is difficult, it is weird, and it's hard. Very hard. And you do that, and then wow! Wacky, how wacky it is that he starts drawing the thing he wants to, but he's got a certain level of notoriety, and then you can do that. Like, a lot of them mainly do characters, because characters are characters are make the money. Like, people don't do landscapes for as much. Like, why would you want to do a landscape? Because landscapes are like, where do you see landscape pictures? Really think about it. Where do you see landscape photos or pictures or anything? You see them in dentist offices. Fucking, Cunny Lord 8892 on fucking Twitter is not going to pay you to draw a very pretty picture of the fucking Tokyo skyline. No, Cunny Lover 1895 or whatever the fuck it is going to want you to pay you to draw his waifu in a skirt. Like, that's what he wants. That's the entire point. Characters make money. Landscape doesn't. So it's like, if you can make landscapes, if you can do all of that, you're actually getting real far ahead of the curve, and you're doing pretty well for yourself. That's just hard. Hard does not make money. Money makes money. That is the ultimate secret. The ultimate secret to life and everything else. Money is money. Won't make any, and everyone hates you for it. It's great. My opinion on artists has not changed. I still hate artists. Kill all artists. Kill all artists. Maim all artists. Destroy all artists. God, I hate. Let's see. So we've gotten this far. Got Aya as the example. She's fully set up. She's ready to go. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do now. Here's the plan. So we're going to be doing. This is going to be no, we're going to do we're going to be doing the scene system. So the entire idea of this section is going to be we're going to open up with the scene system. Then we're going to be doing the slice of life. Going to open up then with the slice of life chapters. The slice of life is then going to feed into Mm. Go. We doing the combat operations. So we've explained a vast majority of the system by this point. At its very core, we've explained a vast majority of the system. We then open up with someone, so this is gonna be your advancement. And then we are going to open up with Op 4 in the city, which we explained a little bit more about the... So Op 4 in the city is going to be almost entirely about kind of like how to build enemies, kind of what encounters are going to look, kind of like what encounters are going to look like a little bit more, and then we can open up with, and we end off things with, go. Feel like I'm missing something. Feel like I'm missing something. What am I missing? Because slice of life, like, so we're going to explain how things are going to be working. Then we do the slice of life scenes. Slice of life scenes are going to have their own section. We then immediately go into combat operations. Combat operations are going to be about how combat works and everything surrounding that. Then we move on to commendations and training, which is going to be advancement, which advancement's going to be kind of its own little thing. We're mostly going to be using a BRP method, but the idea is that you can get commendations to spend on more important things. Naturally, you will increase your skill. You will naturally increase your skills. However, here's the thing. However, you will not naturally get commendation. You're going to get commendation by completing mission, but you're going to be constantly getting your training. So it's like, you fail a mission, you can still get training out of it. You're still getting better at it. You know, but you might get a commendation, which is, I can improve my gun. I can increase his skill rank, things like that. Op 4 is going to be all about enemies and how kind of enemies are created, and then managing a club, which is going to be the gacha aspect. What am I missing? What am I missing? What am I missing? What am I missing? I feel like I'm missing something. I don't know what it is. No, I don't think I am missing anything. If I am missing something, I will find it later. Think about it later. However, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to call it here. So thank you all for watching. We've been doing this for 3 hours. ERP bonus rules. No ERP bonus rules. No ERP. I'm just going to naturally assume that's going to happen. Like, that's the thing. Like, again, as I said in that Twitter post, I've discovered that Blue Archive is 90% pornography. There's other things going on, but like, get in the fucking maid outfit, Lubu. Get in the fucking maid outfit. Your anime girl is gonna enjoy being in a maid outfit, and we are all going to laugh. This is a threat. How are you so comfortable writing horny shit to another person? You would be amazed. You would be fucking amazed. If you are desperate, if you've gotten to the point where you are ERPing, you are a little bit more comfortable writing things like, doing things like that, so. Yeah, okay. So if we do things correctly, Wednesday we are going to hammer out this entire section. Friday we do this. This would actually, no, this would be episode 2, episode 3, episode 4. If we focus on Friday getting this done, we should be good. Next Monday we can get all of this done. We might be able to even get all this done, and then I'll kind of worry about all of this at the end. Okay. Alright. Probably talk with Scribble and see if he has anything that he would want. Alright. Godspeed. Good luck. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. I will see you all probably tomorrow. Play more Bastard Bonds. We are very close to getting done. I did move the base, so we are actually in a position where we can finish the fucking game. I know. How amusing that we could finish the game, everyone. But yeah. I'm ready to go. It's gonna be fun. Thank you. Godspeed and good luck.